and Now biscuits.
PNG Education Vision 2075 consultations held. PM Arape meets King Charles. And PNG Resources Golden Exhibition completes day 3.
A very good evening. This is National EMTV News. I'm Malcolm Waira. Thank you for joining us. Papua New Guinea is holding a stakeholders consultation workshop to finalize the PNG Education Transformative Vision 2075. The workshop is being held at the National Research Institute in Port Moresby from the 9th to the 10th of July.
The goal of PNG Education Transformative Vision 2075 is to ensure all children are educated and empowered by 2075 by addressing areas like curriculum, teacher development and infrastructure. Hence, the stakeholder workshop in Port Moresby are being held to finalize the vision and prepare for regional consultation later in the year. This morning, the Secretary for Education, Dr. Uke Kombra, shared this information.
There's a lot of changes that have taken place in the country because of our education system. There's a lot of changes, but at the same time, whilst we can enjoy some of the benefits that we have due to education that we have had since independence, there's a lot of challenges that we have at the moment too, and we feel it's necessary that going forward in the next 50 years, looking at where we have come from or what is happening now, we need to set the focus for the next 50 years.
Representing the stakeholders, Janet Yembine, the Director for Research and Information from the National Youth Development Authority, explained that working in the youth space, she has realized that PNG needs a strong education system to educate its younger generations. She said with other stakeholders here as well to give their feedback on the PNG ETV 2075 for NYDA, they want youths to be educated to become good citizens of the country.
So, in my experience working with the National Youth Development Authority in the youth space, we find that a lot of young people are losing control in terms of PNG cultural values and Christian principles. So my view is that the Education Vision 2075 must create a system that every key players, the government department as well as development partners must have a role to contribute to a system where when a child leaves education and come out from, say, grade 12, a grade 12 dropout, must not only look for formal employment, they must also contribute meaningfully in the community to be self-reliant.
The workshop will be concluded tomorrow and they will prepare for the regional consultation set to take place in September this year. Louis Maingo, National EMTV News.
Secretary for Education, Dr. Uke Kombra, mentioned today that there are about 203 students in the PNG STEM program who are ready to travel abroad to study. However, they will confirm these numbers when arrangements are finalized.
Dr. Uke Kombra has confirmed that another batch of students are confirmed to travel abroad to study by the end of July or early August.
We have a group of students going this year, and we're working towards the final stages. So by end of this month or early next month, we should be able to give you an invitation when we will farewell the students.
Dr. Kombra stated that out of the 203 students under the STEM scholarship program, it is confirmed that half of the students will be attending selected universities abroad. He further explains why.
Roughly 203 students in STEM this year, about 203. So we're looking at half or a little over half of those students going. But that's, as I said, it's subject to one, their acceptance into the universities. And secondly, it's subject to funding as well. So if we have the students being accepted, and we have the funding, then we'll be able to confirm these numbers.
He said Comol Petroleum Holdings Limited has indicated to support some of the students for this year. Louis Mango, National EMTV News.
Papua New Guinea Resources Golden Exhibition event completed its Day 3 activities at the APEC House today. Students from Tokarara Secondary School had the opportunity to learn about the country's resources and energy sector.
The PNG Resources Golden Exhibition 2025, hosted by the PNG Chamber of Resources and Energy, started on Monday and is progressing well. Today's event saw students from Tokarara Secondary School engaging in discussions with several prominent companies and organizations. Companies such as Santos, Paradise Foods, Karentu Mining Limited, New Pogara Limited, Simberi Gold, Oktedi Mining Limited and others set up their stalls at the event. During the tour, the students had a long interaction with the staff of Oktedi Mining Limited as they learned about the history of the mine and its impact in terms of development.
Exploration, there was a census conducted and the sum of that. During that time, we were discovering.
OTML's Superintendent for Communication and Public Relations, Geralinda Ware, gave an insight on their engagement with the students.
Over the past 2 days, we had students coming in and they were really interested to know about what we do at OCT. So they were very interested to know about those processes. And apart from that, other functions that occur within the company that contribute to the success of Oktedi. And that is not only included in the STEM fields that people go graduate from, maybe Unitech and UPNG in terms of engineering, but there are also people involved working at the mine in terms of other fields or disciplines of studies, and that includes accounting.
A grade 12 student, Stephen Hecker, said the event was an opportunity to learn and ask questions.
A lot of opportunity that once we finish this grade 12, we can pursue what kind of profession that we want to become. That motivates. I think they are motivated, and what they just learned today is very important to them.
The exhibition is regarded as a landmark event to commemorate 50 years of Papua New Guinea's independence and celebrating the journey of the nation's resources sector. Pakatambua, National EMTV News.
The member for Nawai District, Theo Pelgan, has announced his intentions to sign a memorandum of understanding with the National Cultural Commission and the PNG Tourism Promotion Authority. This is to establish the Arab Cultural Show as a permanent annual event at the national calendar.
The member for Nawai, Theo Pelgan, made this announcement during the 2025 Arab Cultural Show that unfolded recently in Morobe Province. With the team, we stand together to expose our arts and culture. The Arab Cultural Show united clans, communities and leaders, celebrating heritage, identity and storytelling. Mr. Pelgan's intent to sign a memorandum of understanding with the National Cultural Commission aims to open doors for local Sinsin groups to participate in both national and international festivals. This will mark a new chapter for the Arab Cultural Show. Amanda Ilaitia, National EMTV News.
The Department for Community Development, Youth and Religion conducted a regional consultative workshop on conventions on the rights of peoples living with disabilities in Mount Hagen today.
Secretary for the department, Mr. Jerry Ubase, said this consultation is the first step in the process that is important for the stakeholders and partners to share their knowledge and experience on people living with disabilities. Secretary Ubase said, according to the World Health Organization estimated data, about 1.2 million people live with disabilities, which only 24,000 individuals currently receive support services. Mr. Ubase expressed that after this workshop, response and input from the stakeholders will help the department prepare both the official and national CRPD report and the CRPD Shadow Report, which reflects the views of the civil society and people living with disabilities. He mentioned that the NACD meets quarterly to discuss important disability issues based on the CRPD, the National Disability Policy, and the upcoming Disability Services Bill. Mr. Ubas emphasized that the Disability Service has passed all the required steps and submitted to be included in the next Parliament session. He also stated that the Community Development Bill was passed during the last Parliament sitting and that will support the wider policy on integrated community development, including work related to disability inclusion. Mr. Ubase further explained that this bill will help them to connect with the provincial administration and affairs.
The bill now, and giving people free access to capital through the provincial administration, people have work one time. So people don't have work the narrow line, especially mandate from people stress, like women, children, youth, persons with disability, all elderly citizens, senior citizens, these are programs from people that has now given us, the law has now given us the leeway to come down and work close to one province, that district.
He said after this consultation, they will collect data from each province to ensure all people living with disabilities will have the same services as everyone. Edward Luke, National MTV News, Mount Hagen.
The Open Government Partnership, or OGP, National Action Plan 3 consultations for the islands region concluded on a high note in Keveng.
The discussions held recently were based on how citizens can hold the government responsible through the Social Accountability Framework. The workshop attracted civil society organization or CSO representatives from the autonomous region of Bougainville, Manus, and East New Britain province. The initiative gained views from the 4 regions to amplify the voice of CSOs, churches, and the private sector in the procedures, protocol, and transitional reforms of the government. In an interview with OGP Acting Head of Interim Secretariat, Mr. Langa Kopio highlighted the importance of accessing information.
Section 51 of the Constitution provides for the freedom of information. That's why OGP is a platform in which facilitates the flow of information from the government to the citizens so the citizen can be aware of what government is doing and the current information, and they can make a relevant decision.
Speaking during the closing ceremony, Director of National Economic and Fiscal Commission, Mr. Eric Kumasan, said the workshop aimed to bring awareness on the progress of the Social Accountability Framework.
Basically, what we wanted to was to bring awareness on the progress of the Social Accountability Framework, how that will now come in line with OGP platform. And by doing that, we want to strengthen citizen voice in local service planning.
It was revealed that the health and education sectors will be used to roll out an OGP pilot project in alignment with the national goals and directive principle. Amanda Ilaitia, National MTV News.
National MTV News returns after the break. Stay with us.
Chicken kebab for dinner. Yum.
Beef stir fry.
Chicken curry, my favorite.
Kebabs for you.
Yum.
Stir fry for you. And chicken curry for us.
Magic in every meal, 1 cube at a time.
Are you tired of standing in those long lines to get your jackpot tickets? Guess what? You never have to with Telecom USSD jackpot ticket purchase. Simply dial *321#, follow the prompts, and you are set for your jackpot draw. It's as easy as 3, 2, 1. Telecom PNG, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Dreaming for more than the life we've known. There is more to what the future holds. You may hold him and walk one time. Oh, 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 oh. We dare to believe in incredible things. Oh, 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 oh. With money plus we're ready to go.
Tonight on Kai Time, we take a look at our food feature for this week. Plus, we check out what's cooking with our friends over at House Kai.
Today we'll be keeping things light.
And also on our Kai Time cooking segment, we've got another very simple, affordable, and easy meal that you can try at home. That's tonight at 7 p.m. right here on your number one to watch, EMTV.
This Thursday on Sports Scene, we speak to former sports media personality.
You know your job inside out, from the ground up, and go in with confidence.
And Tony Archer on set for PNG NRL and youth competition. Sports Scene this Thursday at 7 p.m. on your number one to watch, EMTV.
You're watching National EMTV News. Prime Minister James Marape met King Charles III on his recent trip to the United Kingdom.
Prime Minister was honored with a private audience with His Majesty King Charles III at Mangrove Estate, Gloucester recently. Following the monarch's high-level gathering with global indigenous leaders and environmental champions, King Charles welcomed Prime Minister into his personal study place to reflect on shared concerns for climate change and conservation. Prime Minister highlighted what they've discussed.
Meeting yesterday here at United Kingdoms. We met at the Highgrove Estates. That's the King's private country resident, and His Majesty King Charles III was gracious with his time, both in the address to indigenous leaders of the world who was selected to attend the conference where nature and people must live together. And the King has been a front runner in these conversations. Over 40 years ago, he was speaking on how nature and humans must have a symbiosis, coexisting. In fact, human giving respect to nature, because we have one planet that we might all lose.
He further elaborated on forest conservation.
Elders and with people who are concerned on saving Earth. Our forestry is substantial, our biodiversity is substantial. In that context, Papua New Guinea is recognized. And that meeting went off very well. I want to also inform that the King was gracious with his time, gave Papua New Guinea sufficient time, especially in the face of our 50th anniversary. They did confirm that he will not be in attendance.
He said PNG's biodiversity is substantial. He further said His Majesty King Charles III will not be in attendance to PNG's Golden Jubilee celebrations. Louis Maingo, National EMTV News.
Western Highlands Provincial Police Commander Chief Superintendent John Sagom has condemned the attack on two female journalists in Mount Hagen City yesterday afternoon.
Provincial Police Commander Chief Superintendent John Sagom has condemned the attack on two female employees of Post Korea yesterday by a knife-wielding man who tried to rob and stab them. PPC Sagom said this effort to conduct high-visibility police presence will not be hindered as reported. Mr. Sagom stated that police will continue to give confidence to the citizens in the city and the province as a whole. He highlighted that what happened to the journalist was a very unfortunate, and he condemned the actions of this perpetrator. He said the arm of the law is strong and described this person as an opportunist that deserved to be treated harshly by the law if he was caught. PPC is now appealing to the Western Islanders or any law-abiding citizens to assist police in the city to do citizens' arrest under the Arrest Act whenever they see a person who is about to commit a crime or has committed crime. He further stated that police will not be everywhere at any one time, but they are doing all they can to ensure everyone is safe. Edward Luke, National EMTV News, Mount Hagen.
A total of 312 police recruits are set to commence training on the 29th of July at the National Center of Excellence in Bomana.
This is the first batch of the 2025 police recruits, which was shortlisted from the Southern and Momose regions and will be undergoing a 6-month training. The Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary recruitment team received an overwhelming 18,460 applications from the 2 regions. From the interested applicants that applied, only 4,016 candidates were shortlisted and then whittled down to only 312 candidates successful. RPNGC revealed that 42 of the confirmed recruits are females, which signifies RPNGC's commitment in empowering and promoting gender equality through law enforcement. The RPNGC HR recruitment team are in close communication with the provincial training offices, which will expect 9 coming in from Oro, 9 from Western, Sundown 15, Isipik 35, Medeng 21, Morobe 67, NCD 125, Central 30, and Gulf 2. These candidates are expected to travel starting from the 25th to the 27th of July. All name lists will be published this week on the RPNGC website and Facebook page. Meanwhile, the Highlands and the New Guinea Highlands regions list for the second batch will be published on the RPNGC official website once it is finalized. The second recruitment process will commence in October or November in 2025. This will see the second batch undergo training at around first quarter of 2026 when all processes are completed. The 2026 recruitment will be advertised in December 2025 to allow for interested individuals to apply. The public is advised to follow through the official website and Facebook page for further updates on the recruitments. Benson Wema, National EMTV News.
Tribal fights in Anga province are slowly ceasing, showing some form of order restored in the communities.
Following the ongoing issues of law and order in most parts of the province, Chief Superintendent Fred Yakasa said police have been working along with local leaders as well as church leaders to curb tribal conflicts. PPC Yakasa said on some peace initiatives conducted so far in the communities.
The 2 initial tribes have taken initiative to make peace, and then of course the other parties who have joined as alliance, they have also started making peace, and the last one I think is being negotiated now between the Wablin and Ambulin and the Wabukin tribe, so that's ongoing. So many people have taken the initiative to now settle things to the traditional ways in terms of settling peace. So
PPC explained it is always a challenge dealing with tribal fights. He said they have been able to contain some of the tribal fights.
Districts are safe. There's only 1 or 2 tribal fights that have re-emerged this month. One in Mulitaka and the Kompiam issue has re-emerged, but they are manageable. We are very positive that we will manage these 2 tribal conflicts, but it has not actually gone to the extent like the ones that we have seen last year.
He added people are free to travel into the province.
People are welcome to come back to Hanger and leaders of these various tribes and clans. I commend you all for taking initiative to stop tribal conflicts within your tribes. That's the way to go. We all have to participate in one way or another to do this kind of thing.
Benson Wema, National EMTV News.
The member for Daulo District, Ekime Gorosahu, has presented 2 new vehicles to the Asoro Clinic and Watabong Police to boost services in the district.
During the presentation, the local member elaborated on the purchase of the vehicles, highlighting the importance of these vehicles for service delivery.
District Government Authority of Daulo District, thank you to the board. Na people of PNG or contribute to yes na kimo lokal kan plan poliskar udonetim golo.
Watabong Rural Police Station Commander Sergeant Anix Anigura thanked the parties involved in purchasing the police vehicle. He said Watabong faces challenges in logistics to maintain good order in the district and along the Highlands Highway, and the new vehicle will now ease this problem.
Watabong itself is one of those areas where we have problems, especially on the dealing with crimes and emanating mobility, especially. We have another vehicle, the running vehicle, but it's an old one. We have to struggle to maintain good enough peace there. So this one is going to be something that's going to help us to create our duties, to assist and help our people in a more convenient way. So plenty on man road highway to
Amanda Elaitia, National EMTV News.
Now we take a look at the NESFAN market report. The Takina closed lower at $0.2422 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina was buying $0.2347 $0.3567 Australian dollars, $0.1920 euro, and 34.06 Japanese yen. Looking at the commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee closed higher, cocoa closed lower, copra closed higher, palm oil closed higher, crude oil is trading higher, copper closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading lower, the All Ordinaries is trading lower. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
You get big data and big value with Telecom Good Pillar mobile data plans. From only 3 Kina, you get 1 gig for 24 hours. And for only 150 Kina, you get 130 gigs over a whopping 30 days. And with loads of Good Pillar data plans to choose from, there's a small, medium or large plan to match your budget. Dial *777# to subscribe. Telecom, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Join us weekly on MTV News A Closer Look, the current affairs program that brings you insight for the latest on education, health,
Healing to all the residents.
business,
They launched its VPN.
politics,
to infiltrate into our systems.
sports, and more.
Park as we observe the preparations for the women's.
A Closer Look, Sunday at 7 p.m. on your number one to watch, MTV.
You're watching National MTV News. The Immigration and Citizenship Services Authority has again removed a total of 37 foreign nationals for non-compliance this month.
The Deputy Prime Minister and Minister responsible for Immigration and Border Security, John Rosso, sounded out a warning to foreign nationals residing and operating in Papua New Guinea to follow the country's laws. He said this after a recent immigration-led special spot check operation conducted in East Sepik Province. The operation has seen a total of 8 foreign nationals being apprehended for participating in illegal alluvial mining in inland Maprik between East and West Sepik provinces. These foreign nationals were deployed under 8 different companies with different visas, work permit classes, and job designations to live and operate in Ley Morobe province, not in East Sepik. All 8 have voluntarily exited the country through the assistance of their sponsors. The operation also uncovered repetitive offences by 2 companies operating logging activities at Awain in west coast of East Sepik and in Kanduanum in Angoram district of East Sepik province. The companies were fined and the foreign nationals were detained at the local police station where they were administratively processed by immigration officers. The companies with a total of 29 foreign nationals were fined 352,000 kina as infringement notices on several breaches on employing foreign nationals to perform red jobs or work reserved by law for locals only. Their permits will be cancelled and they will be deported from the country. Mr. Rosso said for far too long these illegal activities have been ongoing, which has resulted in significant loss of government revenue, environmental destruction, exploitation of local workers, and posed serious national security risks. Since October 2022 to May this year, 150 foreign nationals have been removed from PNG by deportation or administrative processes. Louis Maingu, National MTV News.
Veteran councillor Stephen Ropp of Ward 36, representing Hagen Rural LG in the Western Highlands province, has voiced serious concerns regarding the persistent delays in the local level government elections.
Following the formal announcement by the Electoral Commissioner on another delay in the LG election, Ward 36 Councillor of Hagen Rural LG, Stephen Ropp, labelled the delays as unconstitutional.
They breaching the law. It's a third entire government in Papua New Guinea. There is law, everything in place, but I don't.
The LLG election have been deferred twice since the 2022 general election. LLG elections were constitutionally due by around mid-2024 when the current LLG members reached the end of their 2-year extended term. The councillor further elaborated.
5 term I won the race, and within that 5 term, there's no deferral or whatever, because there's law.
He highlighted that leadership at the community level is very important and should not be delayed in such a manner.
Community, there must be a leader at the bottom of the country. The problem of the community, that you're looking at the marijuana people, bush night people, steam people, the councillors always handle it. But when you see the community, there's a peace and harmony there. It's a good leader, like councillors.
He then called for the national government to reconsider its decision and must postpone the election to 2027 to go in accordance with the legality that surrounds the conduct of the LLG election. Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News, Mount Hagen.
To news abroad, the U.S. president has lashed out at his Russian counterpart over a lack of progress in the war in Ukraine and has approved sending more arms to Kiev. Donald Trump did not mince his words about Vladimir Putin during a meeting with his cabinet officials at the White House.
We get a lot of bullshit thrown at us by Putin, for you want to know the truth. He's very nice all the time, but it turns out to be meaningless.
Mr. Trump says he is considering additional sanctions on Moscow as his efforts to broker a ceasefire fall flat. Last week, the Pentagon announced a pause on some military shipments to Ukraine to conserve American stocks. But Mr. Trump says he is now given the go-ahead for more defensive systems to be sent to Ukraine to help it fight Russian forces.
I'm not happy with Putin. I can tell you that much right now, because he's killing a lot of people. We want to put defensive weapons because Putin is not treating human beings right. He's killing too many people. So we're sending some defensive weapons to Ukraine, and I've approved that.
So who ordered the pause last week?
I don't know. What did you tell me?
Russia illegally seized Crimea in 2014 and launched its full-scale invasion in February 2022. It now controls about a fifth of Ukrainian territory. Moscow has stepped up its aerial assaults across Ukraine and has been making incremental advances on the front line. In the bordering Sumy region, nets are being installed to protect against Russian drone strikes, but Ukrainian medics say they're forced to constantly move, fearing an attack.
The sky is never safe because we have, like Russia, have a lot of drones who just check up every time we're changing places.
Флаг. Мы освободили село Подубное.
A Russian soldier declares victory will be ours after Moscow says it liberated a village in the eastern Donetsk region. As Kyiv's forces battle the Kremlin's relentless strikes, Ukraine's leader says Donald Trump had agreed to bolster his country's capacity to defend the sky in a phone call late last week.
We now have the necessary political statements and decisions in place, and we must implement them as quickly as possible to protect our people and to defend our positions. It mainly involves air defense as well as all other elements of supplies from the United States.
In their own discussions, Vladimir Putin has made it clear to Donald Trump that Russia will not back down on its war goals in Ukraine. The Kremlin says the funneling of weapons to Kyiv is not helping the peace process.
There hasn't been any definitive information confirming deliveries have been completed and halted. There have been many contradictory statements on the matter. Well, it's obvious that deliveries are continuing. It's equally obvious that the Europeans are actively pumping weaponry to Ukraine. These actions hardly align with attempts to facilitate peaceful resolution.
Health authorities in Gaza say about 50 Palestinians have been killed and dozens more injured in Israeli strikes over the past day. The IDF says 5 of its soldiers were killed in the north of the enclave. The latest violence comes amid reports in Israeli media that the nation's defense minister has instructed the IDF to prepare plans to move hundreds of thousands of Gazans to a camp in the Strip South.
While there appears to be growing momentum for a fresh truce in Gaza after more than 20 months of war and a death toll across the Strip now in excess of more than 57,000 Palestinians, there's little sign Israeli attacks across Gaza are easing, even as those negotiations begin. The daily ritual of funerals continue after Israeli strikes hit multiple sites across Gaza, killing and injuring dozens. Local authorities saying a baby girl was among those killed in Gaza City. Israel insists it's targeting Hamas fighters, but the civilian death toll shows many innocent Palestinians are suffering as a result. The toll for the Israel Defense Forces, while nowhere near the number of Palestinians who've been killed during the war, is also rising. 5 killed and 14 injured in a Hamas ambush in northern Gaza. Instances like that fueling anger and unrest within the Israeli community about the war dragging on. The deaths come amid speculation a fresh ceasefire could be reached in the next short while, potentially for a period of 60 days, during which time 10 living and 18 dead Israeli hostages would be released by Hamas. One former Israeli hostage, who was released back in February, says there's a narrow window of opportunity for those remaining hostages, 20 of whom are believed to still be alive.
I call upon you, Prime Minister Netanyahu and President Trump, to do what needs to be done. And you both can do it. Bring all of the 50 hostages back and end the war.
Qatar, one of the mediators in this conflict between Israel and Hamas, says those talks haven't even begun yet. The negotiations are currently underway to provide a framework for those discussions. As a result, Qatar is cautious about jumping to any conclusions.
First of all, it's too early to give any impressions over the talks and how they are going right now between both sides. The only thing that we can say is that there is engagement on both sides. We are talking to both sides as we are going along. Obviously, what we are trying to do is bridge the gap in the positions on both sides over the sensitive issues.
One of those sensitive issues is the displacement of the Palestinian population. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and President Donald Trump have again referred to moving Gazans out of the Strip into neighbouring countries, labelling it as a way to give them a better future. Displacement is a red line for Palestinians, not only members of Hamas, but the broader population. It's also a concern for countries such as Jordan and Egypt. And for all the talk from Israeli authorities that this would be a voluntary process, the plans that continue to be unveiled are fueling deep concerns and criticism that something far more extreme is afoot. The Israeli media is reporting the country's defence minister, Israel Katz, has ordered the IDF to develop plans to create a new camp in southern Gaza on the ruins of the city of Rafah, where hundreds of thousands and then millions of Palestinians could be sent. Once those Palestinians enter the camp, they would not be allowed to return to other parts of Gaza. Israel Katz insists it would be international organisations running that facility, but it would be secured by the IDF. However, it's very hard to see how any organisations would want to take part in that, given the repeated warnings from organisations such as the United Nations that mass displacement would be tantamount to a war crime.
National EMTV News returns after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Accept the challenge. Choose PNG's favorite purified bottled water. True Wara, 100% PNG made.
Proudly bottled by Paradise Foods.
At IPI Catering, we understand the intricacies of the environments in which we work, providing innovative, fresh and creative catering solutions. Our experience and commitment is a winning combination, delivering great food anywhere and anytime. IPI Catering, part of the IPI group of companies.
Hilton Port Moresby Hotel and Residence. Hilton Port Moresby Hotel and Residence. Your stay, your house, your home.
MTV's Vocal Fusion Season 12. This week, the top 10 take on the theme Love of Country, performing country music hits. Seeing as this is the top 10, viewers can now vote for their favorite contestant. Join us this Sunday at 7:30, only on your number one to watch, MTV.
True Kai Sports.
Welcome to Truka Sports. As the Port Moresby Corporate Volleyball Competition Season 6 hits round 12, the countdown to the highly anticipated finals begins. With just 4 rounds left, teams are gearing up for the most intense showdowns.
The Port Moresby Corporate Volleyball Competition Season 6 is heating up. With just 4 matches left in round 12, the teams are preparing for a thrilling finish as they race towards the finals. Here is how the competition will unfold. First, in the quarterfinals, teams will battle it out in the best-of-3 set format, starting with the first vs 8 matchup. The following round features 2nd vs 7th, 3rd vs 6th, and 4th vs 5th. The winners of these games advance to the semi-finals, held the following Sunday, where the format shifts to the best of 5 sets showdown. Finally, the grand finals will take place on the 3rd Sunday, where the winners of the semi-finals compete for the coveted trophy. With 9 divisions ranging from mixed to premier men and women, the stakes are high and every point counts. Who will claim the trophy? Stay tuned. Joel Mipari, Trukai Sports.
In the Fairfax Round 11, multiple clubs faced hurdles with unpaid fees, causing a shuffle in the draws. Despite challenges, the action was fierce across all divisions.
Due to non-payment of club affiliation and player registration fees, the following clubs were advised not to take the courts: Freeway Hawks, Chemics and Yankees. However, the Snipers team owner, Mr. Ezekiel Vene, stepped in, covering Chemics fees to ensure the men's Division 1 Chemics team took the court. The draws were adjusted to accommodate for the weekend's games. In the men's Premier, Hillside beat Falcons 3-1, while the men's Division 1, Raukele beat IBS Raukele 3-2. Buria Contenders defeated Falcons 2 3-1. Falcons 2 won Chemics 3-1, while the Hillsides beat Route 25 3-0 and Snipers beat Route 25 3-2. In the men's under-21 division, Hillside beat Route 25 3-1, Raukele dominated Falcon 1 3-1, and Buria Contenders defeated Falcons 2 3-0. For the women's premier, Hillside beat Route 25 3-1, and Raukele beat Falcon 3-2. In the women's division, Snipers beat Raukele 3-0, Falcon 1 won Route 25 3-2, and Besse Raukele defeated Buria Contenders 3-2. Joel Mipari, Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports returns after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Chicken kebab saja nah. Yum.
Beef stir fry.
Chicken curry, my favorite.
Kebabs for you.
Yum.
Stir fry for you. And chicken curry for us.
Magic in every meal, 1 cube at a time.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
Are you tired of standing in those long lines to get your jackpot tickets? Guess what? You never have to with Telecom USSD jackpot ticket purchase. Simply dial *321#, follow the prompts, and you are set for your jackpot draw. It's as easy as 3, 2, 1. Telecom PNG, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
At IPI Catering, we understand the intricacies of the environments in which we work, providing innovative, fresh and creative catering solutions. Our experience and commitment is a winning combination, delivering great food anywhere and anytime. IPI Catering, part of the IPI group of companies.
Last year we had 17,000, which is nearly double what our facility is designed max capacity.
Join us every Monday nights at 7 p.m. for In Focus, your weekly news and current affairs talk show, which presents in-depth commentaries, discussions, and analysis of the major current affairs issues in Papua New Guinea and in the region.
Areas involving a politically exposed presence.
Middle-income economies, the average is around 12%. For PNG, our average is 30%.
So life insurance is about protecting who you care about.
There are existence of clandestine laboratories illicitly producing stolen matter.
Every Monday nights at 7 p.m.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always Trukai. Trukai, true inspiration through generations.
You're watching Trukai Sports. Moving to overseas sports, the 2025 State of Origin Series will be decided tonight.
So much emotion heading into this match. Cam Munster, the skipper, rejoining the team after the sudden death of his father. So the Maroons are going to want to win for him as well as the team itself. And meanwhile, for the Blues, a number of players were named to play. Brian To'o is going to line up, as will Payne Haas. They're managing Payne Haas's back problem. Nathan Cleary will also play. There had been some concerns about niggles that he had. But the Blues are aiming to win back-to-back shields for the first time since 2019 and will do it in front of 80,000 fans at a home stadium. But let's hear from both assistant coaches.
We prepared for it, so we've had some disrupted campaigns, games 1 and 2. Obviously, Mitch in game 2 was a big one for us, and then Payne and Nathan hurt themselves late in the campaign, and they were bigger distractions than this one. From day one, we were clear on what it looked like for us. Jacob Carraz as an 18th man was cover for Brian, and we knew we had to manage Payne right up until today, which we've done, and we've gotten him there, which is great.
Yeah, mix of excitement. Probably a little bit on edge, to be honest. You know, it's an enormous occasion tonight. We're really aware of, I guess, the environment we're walking into tonight. We're not going to get any favours. It's going to be noisy. Everyone against us, so yeah, that creates an edge, but we're, I think, ready for that.
The AFL is investigating threatening messages regarding Carlton's coach.
I do it so our football club can be, have this sustained success that we're all craving for. But there's a way we need to behave, and there's a way that we need to go about it. And when things are tough, you got to show that support the right way, not the wrong way.
That ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Enjoy more talk, more text, and more time online with Telecom More Bundles. Choose from 8 plans ranging from 3 kina with 600 megabytes of data all the way up to 75 kina, loaded with a massive 35 gig. Best of all, each plan comes with an unlimited on-network call minutes plus on-net and off-net talk and text. That's way more time to chat with family and friends. Telecom More Bundles. Top up now.
I know that every man, woman and child of our new nation shares this moment of pride and happiness.
EMTV proudly wishes Papua New Guinea a happy 50th anniversary.
Tonight on Kai Time, we take a look at our food feature for this week. Plus, we check out what's cooking with our friends over at House Kai.
Today we'll be keeping things light.
And also on our Kai Time cooking segment, we've got another very simple, affordable and easy meal that you can try at home. That's tonight at 7 p.m. right here on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Dreaming for more than the life we've known. There is more to what the future holds. You me holy man, no walk one time. Oh, 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 oh. We dare to believe in incredible things. Oh, 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 oh. With money plus we're ready to go.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
The Money Plus weather report for the next 24 hours. For the southern region, Port Moresby City, cloudy periods with some showers and possible thunderstorms. Popondetta, cloudy periods with some rain and possible thunderstorms. To the Momasa region, Lae City, partly cloudy with few evening showers and possible thunderstorms. Vanimo, cloudy periods with rain at times and possible thunderstorms. To the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, cloudy periods with rain at times and possible thunderstorms. Buka, partly cloudy with possible showers. To the Highlands region, Mount Hagen City, partly cloudy with few showers. Mendi, Tari and Wabeg, cloudy periods with some showers and possible thunderstorms.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
And that was the news, sports and weather for Wednesday, the 9th of July, 2025. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.
Coming up next,
At 7 p.m. Kai time, 7:30 p.m. Talk PC News Headlines, followed by Vocal Fusion. 9 p.m. Shoot Shield Rugby. 11 p.m. National MTV News Replay. And 12 a.m. One News.